My son's fiancée mocked my daughter-in-law and dragged CPS into it, so we cut them off. Last weekend, our son Jaime and his wife Lucy went out of town for a concert, so my wife and I watched their toddler Letty. The day was quiet, blocks, snacks, video calls, so mom and dad could wave. That evening, our other son Luis and his fiancée Jessa invited us to dinner. I said we could meet somewhere simple and be back by 8 for bedtime, or they could come over for takeout. Hours later, Luis texted, "We were thinking somewhere nicer, never mind," and they skipped our Sunday dinner too. A few days later, they stopped by to pick up a ring. Luis has a bit with Letty where he enters saying, "Ring, ring," and she yells, "Hello!" This time, he ignored her. She ran over with her arms up and shouted, "Hello!" and he walked past. He grabbed the ring and left. I couldn't believe he'd be cold to his own niece and goddaughter because he was mad at her dad. Yesterday, it got worse. I was out shopping. My wife was in the garage with Jaime and Letty when Luis stopped by. They argued, and it turned physical. My wife says Luis started it. She rushed Letty inside. When she returned, no one was hurt, but the yelling continued. She told Luis to leave and sent Jaime downstairs. We decided Luis wasn't welcome in our home anymore. He said we were taking sides. I said he put hands on his brother in front of a child. My wife added that since he works for her, she could make him take a drug test. That night, we told Jaime to explain what was going on. He stalled. I said if he wanted to keep secrets, he and Lucy could find somewhere else to live, but Letty would stay with us. In the morning, he told us everything. On the 4th of July, our neighborhood did fireworks. Cyril and his girlfriend Rosa came over, and Luis and Jessa. People drank. Later, after we went to bed, Cyril and Lucy took a walk and shared a joint. Luis was the only sober one because of recent eye surgery. Jessa found out and exploded. She called Lucy unsafe because Jaime had been drinking while Lucy smoked and kept saying she was a mandated reporter. Lucy went to bed crying. Jaime argued with Jessa. Jessa said their marriage was only for the baby and insurance. Jaime snapped that she was bitter and not married. Jessa then said young parents and a toddler in the wedding were embarrassing and that Letty would have been better off adopted by a nice family. Jaime told her if she was embarrassed, his family could skip the wedding. Luis begged him not to drop out. He said they were drunk and Jessa wouldn't call anyone. Jaime said Luis couldn't be his best man and that he didn't want Lucy or Letty alone with Jessa until she apologized. After that came talk about Lucy skipping the reception to watch Letty and only spending on Letty stuff. Lucy kept her head down. Jaime tried to reassure her. I asked Jaime how often Lucy used weed. He said 2 or 3 times a month and not since the 4th. He laughed at the idea that Letty was neglected. I believed him. We checked with Cyril. He told the same story and worse. After Jaime left that night, Jessa ranted that Lucy was inappropriate with Luis because her name had a car emoji in his phone, a joke from when she gave him rides before he got his license back. Jessa also said she didn't want me babysitting her future kids if Letty was around. Cyril and Rosa wanted to drop out of the wedding, but Jaime begged them to stay. We confronted Luis. He dodged until we repeated what his brothers said. He didn't deny it. He assumed we already knew and thought we were holding money until Lucy was invited to everything. I asked if he believed Letty was unsafe with her parents since they live. He wouldn't answer. My wife asked if he could pass a drug test. He blew up, went to the lab the next morning, and passed. Then he resigned. On Tuesday, a caseworker showed up. Someone had called family services. They interviewed us and walked through the house. The caseworker said she didn't see a reason to move forward and left. Lucy offered to take a drug test. I told her I believed her and that nobody was taking her child. She still looked scared. Jamie texted Luis and asked if it was him or Jessa who called. Luis said it didn't matter. Jamie told him he was dead to him and blocked him. Rosa dropped out. Cyril stayed as best man for the ceremony. My wife and I told Luis we love him, but we can't support him or his marriage after he and Jessa dragged CPS into a family fight. We told him to pick up his papers and childhood stuff when Jamie wasn't home. When he came, we asked again if he truly thought Letty was in danger. He said it didn't matter, said we always defend Jamie, and told us to have Jamie call him. We said that wouldn't happen. He got angry and said this was our fault for babying Jamie. I told him if he had his way, I'd still be doing his laundry. He said he didn't need us and would start his own family. I told him to leave. He took the box and walked out. Now my family is saying I'm playing favorites for banning Luis. Was I wrong?